Think Like Mama. Today, Mama Luisa will take us on a journey to life with twins. Please, if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe to not miss out on any of our content, and share the content with 3 moms if you find it useful.
Hello Luisa, how are you? Welcome to Think Like Mama.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure.
So before we start, can you tell us a bit about yourself, where you're from, and how many kids do you have, how old are they, what are they?
What are they? Animals. Just kidding. Okay, so I'm Luisa. I'm a mum of twins, 2 little girls who are 2.5 at the moment.
Lovely age.
Interesting.
You say lovely, I've got a few different words. So we have, I was born in Australia, but I was raised in Italy, and a bit of both. No, I don't speak to them in Italian, I probably should, but that's another story. And yeah, my husband's from Scotland, so we have a lot of different cultures in my family.
Mix.
Yes, and my husband also has a son who's 24. So 3 kids in total in our family. Well, you couldn't really call him a kid.
Yeah,
he's 24. He's an adult.
2 kids and an adult.
Yeah, he's a great big brother. Yeah. So yeah.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
So Lisa, how is the life with twins?
It's relaxing, you know, nails days, and no, it's not. It's busy. It's busy. It's fantastic. It's wonderful. I couldn't imagine any other life, and I think I'm one of the luckiest people alive.
Bless you. Yeah, I mean, for us that we have one child at this stage, I admire you. I am thinking like, how do you do it as a mom of twins? You know, and it's nice to see that you're actually happy about it,
embracing it. I didn't really have a choice. I couldn't refund one of them, so I had to kind of stick with it. I had to go with it.
That's true.
But a lot of people do actually say to me, "How do you cope with twins?"
Yeah.
And my answer is always, I have no other, comparison.
Yeah,
I didn't
true.
have one
That's
and then
true.
2. So for me, 2 came along, and I thought, yeah, let's do this.
This is
And
amazing.
and it was a lovely experience from the very beginning, from the birth, from the pregnancy. It was lovely.
That's amazing.
So you just get on with it. You put your head down, you bum up, put your big girl pants on, and just get on with it. And of course, we were very lucky to have help. So from the beginning, yes, we had a very, very helpful person with us. So it was great. And you're constantly comparing with twins as well, which is a mistake a lot of people make, because you don't really compare. Well, sometimes I guess you do compare your firstborn to your secondborn, but with twins, you're constantly, okay, well, Alba, she's done that, but has Alicia done it? Well, she hasn't done it. Why hasn't she done it? Or but I learned very quickly that in terms of developmental stages and milestones, one would get one thing very quickly, and then the other would follow shortly after, and then the other one would get something really quickly, and the other one would follow. So I stopped comparing, and I just thought, in their own time.
So it's just like with any other child, they have their own timeline that they're following, and just because they're twins doesn't mean they're on the same track at the same time.
The way I think about it also is I had 2 pregnancies at the same time. One is, super an extrovert, and she loves social things, and the other one's a little bit more reserved and is quite happy to go sit by herself and do her thing. But from the very beginning, even when they were babies, I remember Alicia, who is my crazy one, she would, and Alba would kind of just lay there. I'm talking about 3 or 4 months old, and she would just sort of look at me. And I'm sure that with mums and babies, you have this understanding, just a look.
Yeah, I believe you.
And you are just communicating, and no one else will get it except you and your baby. And I'm sure she was looking at me to say, "It's okay, go to her. It's okay. Take care of her. I know she's moaning again." Yeah. And it was great, and it's still like that. You have that non-spoken bond that is unlike anything else.
Yeah, it does exist. What I usually tell Allegra is like, do you realize that you lived here, like inside, for like 9 entire months? Like you were part of me, because for me it's still shocking the fact that like you actually make a human being. You know what I mean? So I think that connection remains, through the whole life.
We're very lucky to have that. Yeah. Sorry, dads.
Talking about dad, your husband, do you feel like your not kid but grown-up son, man, do you feel like that prepared you a bit?
And the fact that he had been married before and had a son Really didn't bother me at all. Stephen, his son, was I think about 15 when we first met.
Right.
Yeah.
So he was already grown up, and two very capable parents, were raising him. So I didn't feel there was a place for me to be, that role. I kind of took over more a friend, I'm his pal. And for my husband, I always said for him from the beginning, I'm happy to give you advice if you want advice from me about him. I'm happy to be there as a sounding board, but I will never step on anyone's toes in terms of raising him, because his mum's done a great job with him, and I don't want to take on that role.
That's
do you know what I mean?
beautiful.
So luckily for me, I have a lovely relationship with Stephen's ex-wife, who is a lovely person. And when we met, it was just an instant liking. She's one of those people that I would probably be really good friends with had we not even been in this situation.
That's
So
amazing.
it makes life so much easier.
I think it's like you said as well, it needs to come from both sides,
Yes.
Because
Yes.
sometimes mothers out there, you could have, that intention of having a good
Absolutely.
relationship, but if you don't get a response from the other side, that could be a roadblock.
Yeah.
However, like this, it seems like from both sides, you ladies
It
decided,
really was. Yeah, it
to
really
listen.
was. We just really sort of clicked and understood that was the way we wanted it to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
So, and hats off to her for welcoming me the way she
Exactly.
has. And yeah, it's
That's
just
amazing
easy.
for the kids.
Life
Thinking
is
of the
easy.
children, I'm like,
Yes.
yes, that's the sort
Well, I
of
guess-
environment you want to grow up
Yeah,
in.
and easy for him as well, because nobody wants their parents to get divorced. But if you have to get divorced, make it as easy as possible on your
Sure.
kids. At the end of the day, we're mothers, and our primary concern is, how is this going to affect my child? How will my child, live with this?
Absolutely.
And we're making life easy for everyone.
And how do you organize your life now? Of course, you have 2 toddlers. How old are the girls? You said
Two and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have a husband, and you have a home, and you recently decided to be a full-time mom
Yes.
as well. Strong
Yes.
decision. Well done, Luisa. That
Thank you.
might have taken a lot of courage from
It
you.
did.
So how is your life? How do you organize it?
I think the key word is organisation, and I think I'm an organised person from the beginning, but from learning about twins and twin life, organisation is key. So if you're one step ahead with one child, you're 6 steps ahead with twins, because you have to prepare for any eventuality. So being organised was very important. So my husband said, "You're getting the nursery soon too quickly," and I was like, "No, these twins could come any minute." And in fact, they came at 33 weeks and 4 days.
Whoa.
So had I
very
not
early.
got that organised, we would have come home to an empty room. And of course, mummy's always right. So, cheers. By the way, if you're having twins, do everything at the same time. They eat together, they sleep together, they poo together, everything together. So at night time, I'd wake up, and during the day, my helper would come and she'd pick one baby up and put her on, and then pick the other one up and put her on. And then nighttime, there was nobody, because my husband would be snoring his head off.
Of course, yeah.
So I had many nights where I would sit there and I'd have two babies on the breast, and I'd look at him and think, I wonder what it'd be like to get a pillow and put it over your head right now and hold it down. No, it was tough, but I wanted that. I wanted to feel. I wanted to be like, hey, I did that. I did that. Okay. Logistically think, lifting 2 babies out of the cot and putting them right. So you
they don't support their necks.
So every breastfeeding pillow in the world, I had it.
Right.
I had all of them. So I had the set up on the bed. So 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd be like, where are they? Picking up the right baby. Is it the right one? Yes, this one, good. I think you're Alicia. And then put them one at a time on the bed, and then I'd put myself in position with the pillow, and then I'd reach over for this one and put it on and go, okay, you're on, great. And then the other one would be there, like, okay, how am I going to do this? Try and pick the other one up and put it on while not strangling this one. Meanwhile, the husband is, and I'm like, oh. But it was an amazing experience, because again, it was like, high five to me, I was doing that.
So how do I get them off now?
Well, it's the same thing, reverse. Okay, put you down, don't cry, don't wake daddy up, because then I'd get, I'm working tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And then obviously when I went back to work, then that was me going, I'm working tomorrow, So, no, it was good. It was
I think that these sort of struggles that we all go through.
Oh, it's real.
It's real, and it's things that we need to go through to actually understand motherhood, in its raw way.
Yes.
Like these are the sort of things that, they were a struggle, but today you remember them as like fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, it was a lovely time.
So we know that your story of getting pregnant and having the girls are specific. Do you want to tell us a little bit about
Yeah,
that?
of course. So we got married in 2013, the first wedding, 2014 the second one, and then we were keen to have a family. So we had started trying, and after a year of not being successful, we went and sort of looked at other alternatives. So we decided in the end to go with IVF, and we were very, very lucky to get pregnant on our first try with IVF.
Amazing.
Really lucky, because I do realise there's a lot of people out there struggling, and so we consider ourselves super, super blessed. We had elected, well, we didn't elect, the doctor had selected 3 embryos, the top 3 embryos to put in, and out of the 3 came 2. We never said, hey, we want twins. We never set out for that, but we were obviously elated when we found out we did have twins. So, so every day my husband drives past the IVF clinic and he sends them 2 kisses, because he says, they gave us a gift.
Brilliant.
2 gifts.
And I think this is a very interesting story. IVF is clearly not the norm, and I think it warrants a little bit more attention that we can give in this video. So we've decided to bring Luisa back for a special IVF session in the future. So when we give the news to our families that we're pregnant, it's always a big thing and a big deal. How was it to tell people that you get twins?
I actually announced that it was twins on Facebook, and it was actually on the 25th of November, because I was home sick from work. I was put on bed rest for a few months, and I was lying on the couch, and obviously I knew that it was twins, and then I felt kicking.
Oh, wow.
But it was like kicking all over the place, and I thought, oh gosh, this is double kicking. There's arms and legs going everywhere. So I wrote on the post, I'm so excited and so looking forward to, and I'm going to love all 4 of these little legs, or something like that. And a few people who were reading the post were like, oh, congratulations, you're pregnant. What? 4 legs? So that's when it kind of went out to the broader, circle of friends and family, and they were amazed. They were so happy for us, because, and a lot of people were saying, God, if anyone can handle twins, it's you. So I was like, okay,
and you can.
we'll see how that goes. Yeah, it was lovely. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, very positive.
Parents of twins. So we have selected an article from parents.com where they talk about things not to say to a mother of twins. So what we're going to do with Luisa, we're just going to go through the article and she's going to tell us if these are things that actually she hears a lot and how she reacts to them. So the very first thing that people tend to ask parents of twins is, are they natural?
Yep, I've been asked this. Now, I know that I'm talking about IVF now on a social media platform. But in the beginning, we were a little bit sensitive about it, and we didn't really want to disclose it to too many people, because it was just still new. And as we will discuss in the next episode, IVF is quite taxing on emotions, body, etc. So it's not from a malicious place.
Exactly.
It's curiosity, because the stigma with twins is they are artificially born. So not born, but we've had help. Now it's fine, and if someone said that to me now, I would probably say, no, we had help, we had IVF, but at the time it was like, yeah, they're natural.
Let me explain to you how the bees on the
No, they're fake. They're fake. Yes, they're as fake as Dolly Parton.
Do twins run in your family?
No, they walk. So we got that one a lot, and again, for the same reason where we had decided not to disclose, we had said yes. My husband's brother has twins, and my mother, who is not my birth mother, but my mother, as I know her, she also has twins in her family. So it's kind of like yes, from that side, done.
It's easier. Are they identical?
If they haven't seen them, they will ask. Sometimes if they've seen them, they will still ask. I mean, one's got blue eyes, one's got green eyes, one's got straight hair, one's got curly hair.
Yeah, but I mean, biologically, now that we know that it's IVF, there's no way they're identical twins.
No,
because it's
like I said, 2 pregnancies, separate.
Who is the smart one?
Oh Lord.
I don't know if that's going to come get who do you love most. I've got that before. And I think it was in jest, but you just kind of think, what?
Yeah.
But no, who's the smart one? Do you know what? It's actually something that has actually, that Stephen and I had a conversation about, because not necessarily the smart one, but they're smart in different ways.
Of
so
course.
as parents,
That's
you even discuss that.
Yeah.
You say, no one's actually come and said to me, who's the smart one?
Okay.
Because
yeah, that's not
you'd be
right.
like,
yeah, exactly. Like,
they're both dumb.
excuse
Just
me?
kidding, no. No, they are, they're smart in different ways. So like I said, Alicia is the extrovert. She's more emotionally intelligent, smart, just, she's street smart. She'll fit in anywhere. Whereas Alba studies. She'll study something. She's not a risk taker. She'll assess and then so they're just smart in different ways.
Yeah.
So I've never had that question. I look forward to getting that question.
Bring it on.
Bring it.
Who is older?
Right. Yes. They always point to the bigger one.
Okay.
So Alicia is smart. Is taller than Alba. But Alba was born first.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you look into, on the websites, etc., they say that the one that's born second is the older.
How?
But for me, Alba was born first, so she is
Yeah.
half an hour older than Alicia.
Yeah. Interesting.
But yeah, I get that quite a lot.
So you are done. You had twins, so you're done.
Am I done? I've never had that one in that context, but I have had people say, two's the perfect number, would you try, they do ask, would you try for a boy because you've got two girls? People are curious. It's just like, you get married and they say to you, when are you having your child? It's just topics of conversation that just flow out without actually a filter or thinking about it. So, yeah, they do ask, if you'd have any more. I think purely because they realise that having twins is a bit overwhelming and a bit,
Of course.
bam, there they are. So I think, yeah.
Good.
Are you asking me if I want more?
No.
Yes, the answer is yes, I want more. I want another set of twins.
You want another set of twins?
Well, I am.
Oh my god!
Let's just say, I was talking about this to my friend yesterday who has twin boys, and she said I would kind of love to know what it's like just to have one. Because
different experience.
Yeah, because I've taken one of my children to the doctor before alone.
Okay.
And I took her to the doctor, and I had her in the car seat and 2 seconds, and then had her in the baby carrier and
so
3 seconds.
You, of course.
And then I was looking at all the other mums thinking, if they ever come to me and say, God, I'm so tired and this one child is so draining, I'd be like, really? Seriously?
Try it.
Because I realized then, how, so for me, 2 was like, up here, and then you have 1, it's like, cruising.
It's easy, must be easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've developed already like the speed that I don't think we have with only 1.
Yeah.
Good. Oh my god, now people are not gonna tell you this. You must be miserable.
What kind of comment
Do you
is
know
that?
what? It's funny that you say that, because again, speaking to my friend yesterday, she said to me, going to Australia, people would say to her, better you than me.
Oh my god!
And I didn't really, initially, because no one's ever said that to me, but
No.
she's had it quite often, and I said to her, my God, what do you say to that? And she just said, just shake my head, or, I don't really remember what she'd reply, but because I was thinking in my head, I know what I would reply, but I would actually say, yeah, I'm glad it's me and not you.
Yeah.
But again, it comes from a place of ignorance. They don't really appreciate, what I always say is, they always say double trouble. I don't know if that's in there. Double trouble. And I say, yeah, but double the love, double the reward, double, it's, they associate negativity with the experience of having twins.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, it's been anything
Amazing.
but. It's,
Yeah.
but again, no one looks at your child with the love that you look
do.
at them.
Yeah.
Nobody appreciates
Of
them
course.
as much as you do,
Yeah.
because you think they are the best thing ever. To someone else, they're like this screaming kid in the aisle of, Cocoa Pops. So you just have to, take on board, okay, you don't really understand what every day is like. Yeah, you get the tantrums and the scratching and the biting, but you also get the cuddles at night when they say to you, Mummy, you're gorgeous. At 2.5, and you're like,
Yeah.
Those
I
moments.
get it though, right? Like, so twins run in my family, and a friend of mine has twins, natural. because when we were talking about it, they were natural. And so I was thinking that could have been me because it runs in the family in my case. And I was like, you know what? I feel a sigh of relief at the beginning when I had my son that it wasn't me. And in the same moment, I'm thinking, yeah, but if it had been me, then I would have developed whatever strength and resourcefulness that I needed to have them both. I think that's the case. I think you might feel like, but then as a mom, you always overcome and you find that extra energy and you just deal with it and you get on with it.
I don't know. I've never met any twin mom who said, God, I wish I just had one.
Yeah,
never.
So you've recently taken the decision to become a full-time mom.
Correct.
Can you tell us a bit more about what motivated that decision and how that process was and how do you feel now?
Sure. So I worked for 16 years in a certain company and I loved it. I loved my job. I loved going to work. It was very difficult at the beginning to have my maternity leave and then go back to work because I thought my babies are at home. I should be there. I should be with them. However, like I said before, I had a very good helper who was amazing and I will sing her praises. It didn't have a very good ending, but she was the person we needed at that time because she was super organized. She ran our home with military precision. She was extremely good for us. Unfortunately, she absconded when we were on holiday in Italy, which was a heartbreaking experience for me. An opportunity came up at work where I could leave in a positive way, and I took it and I just basically spoke to my husband and said, I want to be with them. I want to be with them all the time. Now do I think, do I want to be with them all the time? Well, no, I do. The other thing that happened is I actually got pregnant naturally. So that was a big shock. And that actually happened when we came back from, the nanny absconding. And I was so surprised and shocked that I thought, wow, it's meant to be. We're supposed to have 3 kids. And unfortunately that ended in miscarriage. But it's not to say I won't go back to work. It was the right decision for me, and at the time, because of the things that had happened, I felt that, and also, nothing is irreversible. Do you know what I mean? So I just thought, I love my job now, but maybe I will find another job that I love just as much. But let's not discredit, and I know this is a cliche and everyone says it, but being a mum is the hardest job. And you asked me before, how do you juggle being a mum and also housewife, although I have help and that's incredible, but I am very hands-on. I mop the floors as well. You just get on and you do everything that is in that role. But when I was working and I was a mum and I was a housewife and I was everything, I feel something had to give it with me anyway. And I never wanted to be in that position where my marriage was suffering because of that, and because when the kids are small, you have so much to give. They're so dependent on you. I really felt that it was the right decision at the time to give them that. And when they're a bit more independent, then I could perhaps practice a bit more in the workforce.
Really fun. It's very common to hear a lot of celebrities having twins. And here in Dubai, like nowhere else, I actually met a lot of people having twins as well. Have you ever felt that you fell into a trend of having twins?
Well, do you know what? Beyonce called me and George and Amal called me and they said, do you mind if we have twins? And I said, look, it's a lot of work. Get ready to put your gloves on. There's a lot of, every day you're changing like 16 nappies. No, it does seem to be a trend, to be honest. I'm going to say something that may be a little bit controversial. So when a mother conscientiously decides to go and put multiples in, she is getting herself ready for multiples. Now, I was just thinking, let's put 3 in and at least 1 will stay. I wasn't thinking 2 will stay, 3 will stay. I was thinking the more we put in, the better the chance. But I was preparing myself also for the potential, multiple birth. But
it's interesting.
I think yes, it is a trend, and I think perhaps people do make that choice because they are hoping to have twins. At the end of the day, no matter which way you look at it, no matter which way they were conceived, They're a blessing, and we're lucky, and anyone who doesn't think so should be okay.
No, 100%.
So if you were to give one piece of advice,
I thought you were going to say, if you were to give one twin away, which one would it be? I didn't think about that.
We shouldn't ask.
Can I give my husband away?
Yeah, one of those questions.
Brilliant. No, if you were to give advice to our viewers, let's say there's a mom out there who just found out she's carrying twins, what would you say to her?
Oh, goodness. I would say sleep. I would say prepare yourself for the fact that you probably won't travel alone for the next 2.5 years, 3 years. That was one of the difficulties of, being in Dubai, especially, having to travel, because a lot of us are not from here. So you have to go to Australia, you have to go to Italy, to Scotland. You can't travel with 2 infants initially. So, yeah. So I would say travel, go to all the places you wanted to go to, and before you have your twins. But that goes for single pregnancies as well, because traveling with babies is tricky at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
And what other advice? I would say really speak to your husband about how you are going to co-parent with the twins. I think you really need to be on the same page, particularly with twins. And kids are very smart. They'll work out very quickly who is the one that they can go to for the lollipop, and who is the the ogre that says no. Hello, that's me. Yeah. So that's what I would say. Talk to your husband. Spend time with him, because things are very different once you have kids. You ladies know all about that, I'm sure.
Yep.
Things change a lot. You exist. I'll speak for myself actually, because maybe not everyone's like that. I existed for my babies. I felt like I was here to feed them, to make sure they were safe, that they were loved. And I lost a little bit of my own identity initially.
Yeah.
Because it was a bit overwhelming.
Yeah, for me as
So
well.
I
had the same experience.
Yeah.
Until she was 1.
Yes.
I actually saw myself in the mirror again after she turned 1.
Yes.
For 1 year, I don't even remember about that year so much, My memories are very scattered. It's like, I was there, but was I?
100%.
It's so weird,
Do you feel like that's coming back though, as they get older?
Yes, definitely. You allow yourself to break away, because you know they're going to be okay. You know that if you leave them, playing in the living room, you're going to come back and they're going to be there, as long as the front door's locked, because mine take off now. The other thing that I started doing, and this is advice for any mums of twins or multiples, or multiple kids in general, I started writing a diary. Now, I've got a diary for each of them.
Wow.
So every month I will write in there like funny things that they say, or when they've done certain things, or experiences. So we just went to Sicily for a while, and all the cities that they went to, because one day they'll say, have you been to Sicily? And I'll go, yeah, we have. Have you been to Agrigento? No, I'm not sure. Well, yeah, you have, because I wrote it in there. You've been there,
That's awesome. What a strong motivation behind it.
I didn't want them to ever miss out on bits of information. The one thing I will tell people is, don't do it like me as a written diary, even though it's nice, because I like the thought that they will see my handwriting. It takes a long time. Type it.
And even sitting down and typing, you don't always find the time.
But I keep them on hand, so even if they do something ridiculous, I write it down somewhere and then I put it in later, because I might forget. So I just think it'll be something nice that they can read.
It's good advice. Very nice.
Well, thank you so much for coming
You're
on the
welcome.
show.
I'm sorry I spoke so much.
No, it was absolutely perfect. I'm already looking forward to having you back.
Thank
in a
you.
little
I look
while.
forward to it as well. Glad to help. Glad to help you.
Yes.
Yeah, brilliant.
Thank you so much for watching. If you are also a mom of twins, please leave a comment below. We would like to hear what tips you have. Even if we are no mother of twins, maybe you can help us with our journey in motherhood. We see you in the next episode, and remember to subscribe. Go to our Facebook page as well. We are so looking forward to see you again. Bye bye. Thank you. And for all mamas out there,
Trust your instincts
and think like mama.
Bye.
Bye.